Opinion and reaction to when people say that Terrifier has given a resurgence to the actual horror movie community, similar to how Scream and Halloween did back in their day. And David, what's your opinion when people say that your character Art the Clown is the birth of a brand new horror movie icon?
Wow. And I'll tell you, man, it makes me feel really good. My little 7-year-old self would be dying, if he knew one day that I would be able to move that many horror fans and have an impact like that. It means the world, because I am a diehard horror fan. My mother used to take me to these horror conventions when I was 12 years old to meet Tom Savini and Kane Hodder and everything, and I just happened to be in this position, and so it's so wild. But we love hearing that. It makes us feel so good. It makes us want to work so much harder on the subsequent ones, But never really sinks in, man. It's all very surreal when we hear he's an icon. He's up there with Freddie, Jason. Not everybody says that, but some people say that. And it just makes us feel really good.
Yeah, it's very surreal. It still hasn't. I feel like I have a little bit of imposter syndrome still happening right now, and it's very humbling, and I'm very appreciative of it all. And it's not just been the fans too. It's just been even the fellow legends that have come before us, that they've been so welcoming to us all. It's like we just did a convention with Tony Moran, C.J. Graham, and R.A. Maloff, Leatherface, Mike Myers, and Jason, and they're just like, this is unbelievable what's going on with you guys. So it's like, it's something I've noticed has just been trickling throughout the whole industry. Is this enthusiasm that's being brought back again into there's like a new breath of life being pushed into the genre. It's not just us. We have other movies like X and Pearl and Megan and stuff like that's coming out. I think we're starting a new generation of horror right now, and it's very exciting to be part of that. I'm just honored.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jason has a question.
Having here this weekend, sharing with us, and all your hard work is very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Love you all. The question is for Damien. I appreciate you all you, and I'm looking forward to the future with Art the Clown and Terrifier. But my question is for Damien: would you be interested or doing any other horror project in the future?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I definitely don't want to do nothing but Art the Clown for the rest of my life, as much as I love this character.
We got to go to Hawaii first.
Right? At least once. But yeah, for sure. I have so many ideas and so many movies I'd love to, even reboots and things. If I ever got the opportunity to direct, say, a remake of Friday the 13th or something, I would jump on that in a heartbeat. I don't think that would ever happen, but I would love to do something like that. But I currently have a movie in development with Ghost House Pictures, which is Sam Raimi's production company. So it's another original idea of mine that they're really excited about, and we're really hoping that gets going as well.
Back there with the daisy glasses.
My question is for George Stuber, the cinematographer. I'd like to know, in terms of filmmaking, which scene was the most difficult to shoot?
The most difficult.
Probably the one where he didn't have access to a McDonald's.
Wow. Well, I think the tank scene actually is pretty tough.
The tank?
Yeah.
Building the tank. We could make a documentary on that tank, that Houdini tank that Lauren drowns in.
Can you guess who built the tank on the stage?
Take a guess. After everybody said it could not be done, it could either not be done or it would cost $40,000, which we didn't have. Who built it for $4,000? Phil Falcone, everybody. That's how Terrifier 2 got made.
In the red.
Okay, this question is for David. Was there a scene that genuinely disgusted you in either of the Terrifier movies?
genuinely disgusted me. Oh my god! It had to been
the footage of him gagging during one of the scenes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like when I'm having to like dig into the chest after I had destroyed Brooke. The stuff they put in this thing, it was like a sensory overload of textures. And so I'm so glad they weren't running down that night, because it was cold and I'm hitting squishy things and I'm hitting hard things and sharp things, and I'm like, what is going, and I'm pulling out things and I'm like, oh my god, that's an intestine, and I'm like, so I'm just sitting there, oh, gross. And then they're like, okay, we're breaking down for dinner. And I got all this crap all over my hands. I'm like, oh my god. And this is how COVID happened. It wasn't a bat.
Next question, right there. Oops, careful. We don't want anybody to get hurt, don't puke, none of that. Okay. Pass out, we heard it all.
So this is something I actually asked Damien earlier today, which I know I'd ask the rest of you. How would you describe the appeal of horror as a genre to those who just don't get it?
You hear that? The appeal of horror to somebody who's never seen a horror movie or isn't really interested in the genre.
It's escapism and a survivor's journey. And it's a way to escape from your life, and you see someone else struggling through things, and you see them going through some really bad shit. And you're like, I can do that. I'd run out the door. And it kind of makes you feel better about it, especially when you see people doing a really stupid thing. You're just like, oh, I'll do this. I'll totally get out of this. So it kind of boosts your confidence, I guess you can say in some ways too.
Damien?
I don't really care enough to convert somebody who doesn't like horror movies. It's my rule of thumb. You're not my friend. Speaking of which, Phil, how do you feel about horror movies?
I guess we're no longer friends. He's such a liar. Here's why. He converted someone. My name is Phil Falcone. And until Terrifier, I was not a horror fan. So, yeah, he converts people, don't be worried about it.
He was all into rom-coms.
This is true, that's my softer side. That does not come out on the set.
Any other questions? Right there, the guy with the hat, I'll get to you in a second.
Mr. Director, what's something that you set out to do with this film to make sure it didn't just turn out like a generic killer clown movie, that I got lost in the crowd, what I'm saying?
For sure, that's a really good question, man. Well, I think art alone, there's so many interesting ideas and situations that I want to put Art the Clown in, or that I do, that I know are just so fresh, and it's like things we could do with him you're not able to do with a character like Michael Myers or Jason, like put him in a costume shop out in public and have him mess around with people, or in a pizzeria just hanging out. That's my favorite stuff to do with his character, and situations like that always keep his character fresh in particular, because you can keep putting him in these new situations, which is really fun. But like I said before, it was really about incorporating a hero this time, and going on Sienna's journey, and her emotional journey, but she goes through sort of a physical or metaphysical journey as well, just as Art does, because Art started out as one thing, right? This seemingly normal serial killer, well, not normal, but human serial killer in part one, and now he transcends into something supernatural and something of greater evil, and she's the character who's brought in to combat that. So to me, that was the most fun, and I'd never really seen that in a horror movie before, and really tackling these sort of mythic or religious themes, all this subtext going on is what really interested me, this real deep-rooted battle of good versus evil, and angel versus demon. That's what I was really excited to go after and tackle. And just with that character, my love for, and sort of crossing genres with Sienna, because I grew up loving fantasy movies like Conan the Barbarian and Red Sonja and Excalibur, and I just wanted to sort of incorporate a little bit of that into this movie and see could I breed that with a slasher, and what would you get at the end of the day if I could do that. So always challenging myself, knowing not everything's going to work for everybody, but at the end of the day it's certainly going to be fresh. Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're out of time. But we're here all weekend. Come to our tables, okay? And normally at this point, I would say give it up for the cast and crew of Terrifier 1 and 2. But I think we should give it up to you guys.
Great.
So thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you, everybody. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. And hang around, the costume party's coming up next. The Halloween costume, well, not Halloween, but the costume contest. Shit, I'm like in a time warp. Thank you.